So there could be a lot of different reasons why nobody is buying your beats or nobody will ever buy your beats. But let's get down to the main reasons on. And the first reason is that you're not promoting them the right way. And I'm not talking about spending money. I'm not talking about any of that stuff, advertising. No, you're just putting a type B channel up. You've probably just been doing it for a while now. Just keep doing the same thing with little effort and you're not promoting them anywhere else. I've been able to sell lots and lots of beats, and sometimes the sales don't come from a YouTube type channel. Sometimes the sales come from a TikTok page or an Instagram page. So that means that you would have to make the effort to start promoting your beats elsewhere instead of just doing a type B channel and hoping for the best. Because think about it, you're going to increase your chances on selling more if you're putting them out in different places. Yeah, definitely YouTube is for sure like the main source. You should definitely always put your beats up on YouTube because a lot of people are searching for them and YouTube has the best search engine optimization. But to be honest with you, sometimes, posting them on Instagram and TikTok, they can go ahead and hit the link in your bio and you can make a sale like that as well. What I'm really trying to say is don't sleep on social media, don't sleep on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, because you're really going to miss a lot of opportunities if you're just using one main source. It just doesn't make sense to me. The second reason, if you're doing all of that already, you're already posting a lot on type B channels, and you're already doing the social media thing. You're already posting on Instagram, TikTok, you're posting on YouTube. Your numbers are not that bad. You're actually getting pretty good numbers. This may mean that your melodies may not be that great or your sound selection is not that great, that when the artist hears this, maybe for the first couple of seconds, they click right away. And the way you can check this is by going to your retention graph inside YouTube. You can go ahead and look at the attention retention. Okay, so like if you go into YouTube and you look at your retention, you can see where the artist is clicking off. By looking where the artist is clicking off, you're going to be able to notice and tell, okay, so something's wrong. Maybe they didn't like the beat right away. If they're clicking off right away, that means your melodies are just terrible and your sound selection is not good. There's a lot of VSTs right now going around. I find them a lot on Instagram that are very low cost. Like for instance, there's a plugin called Sky Keys that I just purchased for $14.99. And I've been using this plugin for like most of my beats right now. And the sound selections are great. Almost every single sound in that plugin is amazing. And they're not sponsoring me or paying me to say this. I just really like the plugin. It just goes to show you that there's a lot of different plugins, a lot of different VSTs that can definitely make a difference in your sound if you just take the time to check these, different plugins out. If you don't have already like some good, high expensive plugins or VSTs that you can buy, then just try to learn how to manipulate the stock sounds already inside your DAW, whatever DAW it is that you're using. I know FL Studio and Logic tends to have pretty good sounds already in them, stock sounds. So if you already have that, just try to learn how to, EQ them properly, put some reverb in there, manipulate them in the way that they're going to sound pretty good. And like I said, if you're looking at your retention graph and it's looking okay for the first few seconds and then they're clicking away after maybe your drums come in, then the problem is not your sound selection, the problem is your drums. And believe me, this is something that's so crucial and a lot of people don't talk about. Your drums gotta be slapping, they gotta be hitting hard. Like, it's just the honest truth. A lot of artists don't buy your beats because the drums are just not hitting. They're just not. Like, and honestly, I would love to do maybe like a type beat review channel or something like that, or just do one day a video about that, like reviewing type beats. Because if the drums are just not hitting, they're not gonna buy them. Like, no matter how crazy the melody is, no matter how good the melody, you maybe use the loop, it's not even your sound, and the drums are just whack. Trust me, I learned this the hard way. I was wondering for a while why people weren't buying my beats, and I was like, but the sound is sounding good and everything. And then I realized it was really the drums. And the way you can maybe fix this problem, because obviously we want a solution, is by comparing your beats to the type beat channel that you're promoting. Say you're promoting, like for instance, a Drake type beat. Go look for the highest view Drake type beat and see what the comments are saying. If the comments are like really positive, like, oh, these drums are amazing, these drums are hitting hard, or whatever it is, then you should probably use that as a reference next time you make a beat. If the comments are, it has a lot of views but not a lot of likes, not a lot of comments, and maybe don't use that one as a reference. But if you are going to use that as a reference, make sure you download the WAV file, or just download something, or download the free download version, whatever they offer, and then just put it in your DAW. And then when you make your beat, when you're about to make the drums, compare the two when you're like already cooking up or whatever. As soon as you're done with it, just go ahead and compare. Okay, this sounds like this and mine sounds like this. Why does mine sound a lot worse than this one? And just slowly try to get up to that quality level. It's not probably going to come like right away, but you got to work on it. find different tutorials, find different ways just to make your drums slap. I know for FL users, sometimes it could be a little bit easier because you guys got that soft clipper already integrated in the DAW, but sometimes I've heard some pretty bad beats in FL as well. So it just goes to show you that it's about the producer and not the DAW. The fourth thing I would say is that you're using really weak titles on your type beat channel. Honestly, I see a lot of producers saying start with the smaller artist that's blowing up already and this and that. I really don't, you know, that tends to work, but what if they don't blow up, or what if they fall off, you know, like Little Pump or something, you know, we don't know where he's at right now, like, you know. And then even like, you know, beats like Roddy Ricch, he's definitely not making music right now. A lot of people are not searching him. You got to look for artists that are like in the top ranking niche. So I know everybody tends to use artists like Drake and like Kanye, and even when you're starting off, believe it or not, these names can still work. And what I've noticed that worked for me is combining two artists together. Now, some people don't agree with this. I was using the term Chris Brown type beat a lot, and I would combine Drake times Chris Brown, and you don't see that often because you're like Drake times Chris Brown, like, you know, that's R&B, and I know Drake has his R&B side, but he's mainly like hard beats and fire beats, whatever, but he also has that R&B side. So I tend to use that one, and slowly one of my videos started to blow up and catch steam because I used the Drake times Chris Brown method. But it goes to show you that if you use two artists instead of one in the beginning only, it tends to get more traction because now you have two artists that you're opting for instead of one. So when people go and search this artist, you have one or the other that they can be searching for, and then it'll pop up because you're searching for one of those instead of just taking your chances and then hopefully they just search for that one, if that makes sense. So definitely in the beginning, try to put two artists together that you see that you can see them featuring each other, or maybe they haven't featured each other, or maybe they have, it doesn't matter. But if you see them featuring each other, then try to combine those two in your type beat channel. And one little trick that I'm gonna say in this video, and this is some sauce right here, like, is when you upload to your type beat channel, whatever it is that you're promoting, go ahead and play that beat from your type beat channel the whole day if possible. Believe it or not, I did this by accident and I saw that it kind of worked. For some reason, people tend to not click on things where they don't have a lot of views. I know it's dumb, it sucks that the world we live in is like that, but it does happen where people just don't click on your stuff if it doesn't have a lot of views. So what I would do is I would just play my beat on the type beat channel like maybe like 50 to 100 times, and I did this just because I liked the way my beat sounded, not because I was trying to get views. And then once I stopped playing it, I noticed like the following days after that, they just kept getting views because now it had like 100 views or like 50 views or something. So people, as long as they see something getting views, I think the algorithm's just gonna push it regardless. So, and the last and final thing, this is something cliche already and that we all know about, is consistency. Of course, we all talk about consistency. We all know that this is true, but the consistency for me has been posting every other day. I post every 2 to 3 days. I don't post every day like every producer says you gotta post every day. I was able to, you know, get my channel from like 0 subscribers to like 2,400 subscribers now in like 7 months or less. And that's just because I followed a formula that worked for me, and it's been working. It's been working great. I'll probably show some stats here around the screen somewhere. But what I'm trying to say is your consistency matters. Whatever is good to you. You don't have to post every day. I think that's very, very hard to do, honestly, if you're not using loops. It's very hard to post every single day. And if you just want to post maybe 3 times a week, that's fine. That's fine too, but just stay consistent with 3 times a week. I would say leave it at 3 times a week, no less, because 3 times tends to be like every 2 days, every 3 days. And even if you want to post 2 times a week, I think you can get away with it still, but your chances of getting more views are going to be less, just being honest. But try to stay consistent and not give up. Go for 2 years straight posting and doing different strategies. If nothing works after 2 years of posting consistently, or even like a year and a half, then maybe look for some mentorship or something. You can always DM me on my Instagram, RMC Beats, and I'm more than happy to help. So I hope this video was a little bit helpful for you guys. Don't give up. Whatever it is, just don't give up. Keep going. Stay blessed and stay positive. Peace.